Yo, what's up? The title caught your attention. Alright, see that car in front of me right there? Alright, or any of the cars that we're gonna see right now. Hold on. So the purpose of this video is to make people aware that electric cars are not the future. They invented the shit. They invented the shit. They invented the shit, what do you call it? Can I leave off that? Lost my train of thought. Okay, so hydrogen-powered cars were invented. They were invented. They were invented, but the oil companies didn't want them to get out, and they killed the guy who actually made one. He made a Corvette. It ran on all hydrogen, no gas, and he made the hydrogen on his property. I'm going to show you a video of that in a second. But, so what I'm talking about is, like, see this stupid Prius right here? Alright? All y'all that are on that green scam shit of this electric car agenda, I like everything Elon Musk is doing, but I hate his electric cars. I do not like them, I disagree with them, and I think the idea is stupid. And the reason I think his idea is, well, his car company is stupid, is because, okay, so I got a car the wipers don't work on. I can't figure the shit out. Nobody can figure it out. They can't figure out why the fucking wiper's not working. The motor works, but the wipers don't work from the switch. I changed the switch, can't figure it out. Probably gotta, I don't know what I gotta do to make it work. But the point that I'm trying to say is, alright, so say you got an electric car. That big ass battery over time is gonna lose its ability to charge. Now, you got the waste of the battery, all right? That's part of this green scam. And now you got to think about this. How was that battery transported, the materials to make it? Through gas. How was the minerals mined for the batteries? That was used with gas or human manpower, a little bit of both. So, you got gas being used there, you got gas transporting the battery acid, and then you got the hazardous waste disposal of the batteries. They're not a good idea. It's a horrible idea, and Tesla sucks. But I do like Dodge. Elon Musk is doing a good thing with Dodge, so I don't dislike him for that. I dislike his electric cars, and I always have, and I always will. Because now think about this. If any of you have ever had, like, look at that good old Chevy truck right there. You see that blue Chevy truck? That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of vehicle that'll last another 100 years as long as there's still gasoline available in another 100 years. Or it can get converted to run on only hydrogen. And how can it get converted to run on hydrogen? So there's people right now converting classic cars and trucks like that to run on electric, okay? But why would you want to take away that good fucking engine sound? Now with the hydrogen-powered engine, you're gonna still get that nice little rumble, the car sound, a muscle car sound, or a quiet sound if you're not trying to have a loud car. You could do everything you can with, now the process of making the hydrogen, that could be done at your own home, honestly. And that's why the oil company shut that idea down and killed the guy that made the Corvette. Here, I'm gonna show you, hang on. So that's why they killed him. Hold on, let me get into this. Man, I haven't went live in a while. Nobody's even watching. But here, hold on, give me a second. Let me pull this up. He made a Corvette that ran on only hydrogen. And he made the hydrogen on his property. No, I don't want fucking that. Fuck you. Hold on, give me a second. Let me pull this up. Hydrogen-powered Corvette. Okay, now the reason here we go. Now I don't want to do a hydrogen fuel cell. That's stupid. You might as well just have a freaking regular
Mint Mobile, we're always looking for innovative ways to save money.
V6.
So you can keep paying $15 a month.
Shut up, Ryan Reynolds. You got a good movie with Deadpool and all three of your Deadpools, but other than that, shut up. Okay, so as I was saying, here, we're gonna let this guy explain it. Look at this. See this? Look. Oh, wait.
So you read all over the internet about people and they run their car on water and hydrogen fuel cells and so on. You're running your car on
hydrogen. You can't run a car on water.
But you're using water.
Right. You use water as the source material. You run electricity through it, and it breaks it down into hydrogen and oxygen, and then you can burn the hydrogen.
Now, yes, right at that point, you may ask, why not just make the car run on all electric? The reason you're not going to make the car run on all fucking electric is because all that battery waste, all that gas you got to move just to move the freaking acid for the batteries is harmful. The life of an electric car versus the life of a regular gas car is a lot more harmful to the environment than the life of a gas car. And that's crazy to say that. That's why that electric car shit is a straight scam. And then over time, you know how much those batteries are? Let's look up how much a battery is. Let's let this guy explain this while I'm doing that.
All right, so you found a way to store a lot more hydrogen in hydride. The equivalent of a full tank of gas. You want to fill up your car?
Oil
How much
companies
hydride do you
killed
need?
them, by the way.
Well, I'll show you.
Look at that. You see that?
No way.
Yeah,
That's what stores the
volume
hydrogen.
it takes to store enough hydrogen to propel this car close to 400 miles. Just about what it gets running on a full tank of gas.
Wow.
And it's a lot safer than gasoline.
They
Yeah.
killed him, the oil, or
these
him.
tanks can be
One of them,
shot
the
at with
oil
incendiary
companies
bullets
killed.
or cut in half, chainsaw, and you could throw a match on them, they just smolder like a cigarette. Now, you can't say that about a gas tank. Now, if you stored hydrogen, just compressed gas in a tank, it certainly explode,
Yeah.
catch on fire. Here, only the hydrogen that you need is released from the tank. When the tank's heated, it produces hydrogen and the car burns it. So there's never much gaseous hydrogen in the system at any given time.
Wow. So these are the fuel lines? No, what are these? Those
No,
are
these are this provides power to the heater in the tank and also reads back the temperature of the tank. Why is that important? Well, when you apply heat to hydride,
Keep listening.
it releases hydrogen. So as power is applied to here, it heats the hydride,
Right.
and then the gas
This is a
comes
Corvette.
out. The hoses on the end.
And you have 4 hoses. Do they all mix into one big hose or
Yeah.
something?
Because you can only get hydrogen out of hydride at a certain rate with a certain temperature. And a single tank, you can't get it out
Keep
at the volume
listening.
you need. So you really just split it into 4 smaller units, heat them separately, and it works just fine.
Okay. Now behind me, Bob is getting ready to blow something up. Bob is blowing up water.
And,
Well, okay, he's not blowing up water because, as he said, to say you're powering your car on water is the same thing as saying if you're running your car on gasoline, you're powering your car on
It's
dinosaurs.
not water, it's hydrogen, though.
This
Keep
is
listening.
what,
This is a Hoffman apparatus.
and it's used to
Produce hydrogen and oxygen from water.
for fun, just because it's cool.
Well, if you
No,
just have
it's
it used for
because it's for your
hydrogen and
car.
oxygen or for demonstration purposes, it works just perfect. All you gotta do is fill it with water.
That's just regular water, right?
Well, actually, water with a little
Drano.
citric acid, potassium hydroxide, anything like that.
Or
The more
Drano.
conductive you make the water, the faster hydrogen will come out.
And each one of these sides is supposed to be
Keep listening.
hydrogen and oxygen.
All of
Right.
these,
One will be
I'm going to pause that for 1 second. Every single car which you're hearing right now out on the road, we could do this to. Those electric cars are a straight scam. Continuing on.
hydrogen will bubble up out of one, and oxygen will bubble up out of the other. Remember, water is H2O.
Right.
So when we break the bond of water apart, we'll get twice as much hydrogen gas as we do oxygen.
Oh, so what happens to the water? It just goes away.
Right, it gets
So,
converted into...
so each one of these tubes, the
It
water
turns
just
into
goes
a
down.
gas.
But what's left is the gas,
Right,
and they'll be on this side. And
yes,
that's the hydrogen side.
exactly. And that's the negative.
And so you got to
So
run
it
an
matters which way
electrical
you hook
current
these
to
up. So
make
you got to
it.
hook up positive to what is the positive is
Well,
going to make the,
Positive will make the oxygen, and the
Oh.
negative will make
Oh no way.
the hydrogen.
He's talking about an electrical current sending it through the water that's got like Drano or the other things he just said in it, and that creates the hydrogen. Continuing on.
So we've just connected it there,
Right.
and just by turning it on, you can see bubbles start pouring up out of there.
7 up.
Kinda.
So those bubbles are they're not the same. So these are hydrogen bubbles, and those are oxygen, bubbles.
Right.
And this is wider. There's more of them.
Right. Oh, you can see it's really
Why is there more? Oh, H2.
Two. Oh, right. There's twice as much.
Hey, that actually makes sense.
So I'll close it off so it saves,
Right.
seals the gas in, and
Right.
then you'll see it'll start filling up.
Oh, we don't have to go away overnight. If this will do it while we're watching.
Oh, come on,
Here's
no.
how I eat low
Commercial.
carb.
Hold on. So basically, what you're learning about right now is why every single car should get converted to hydrogen, and electric cars are a scam.
Yeah, it'll be relatively quick. And what we'll do
Mm-hmm.
is take a little sample of the hydrogen gas
Mm-hmm.
and light it.
Right.
And you can see that
What are these? You just have electrical current going to a piece of foil?
Well, it's a piece of platinum foil, and the reason you need platinum in there is because it's very corrosive to a metal for electrolysis to occur. I mean, it's really ripping the atoms of the metal apart, but platinum is highly resistant to corrosion.
Mhm.
Now, this is a slow method,
Right.
and it consumes a fair amount of electricity. Now, electricity is being produced from solar panels or a wind generator. It doesn't
Yep,
cost you anything.
that's what I'm
so who
talking
cares?
about.
But still,
Mhm.
you don't want to wait, hours and hours and hours and hours to refill a vehicle. You
Or,
want
yeah,
something
wait
that
for
can
it to
produce
charge.
hydrogen at a fairly quick rate.
Wait
So,
45 minutes
let's
for
go
the
ahead
shit
and
to
extract
charge.
some of this.
Okay. Look at that. Wow.
So there's power of hydrogen. You see, just from water, something exploded.
So this is the same thing that was inside the lab.
Yeah, that was a small tabletop model. This is a large industrial version, essentially, which connects right to the water main
Right.
and produces a much higher volume.
The water
hydrogen.
main, your
The water
garden
main.
hose.
Right, yeah, garden hose. You can plumb it in like you connect your, dishwasher, or just connect it to a garden hose.
Right.
And it's powered by either solar array, solar panels,
Mhm.
which convert sun into electricity,
Mhm.
or
Just listen.
a wind
you don't gotta
turbine
watch.
takes the wind, converts it to electricity, or any other way. But the idea is just to use complete green energy. Ideally, I like to run this one on solar. New Mexico gets a lot of sunlight, so
Mm-hmm.
that's really all there is to it. You connect it to a water line, plug it into your solar panel, and open the water line. Unit
Right.
starts producing hydrogen, and when it has a sufficient quantity
Uh-huh.
in there, let the hydrogen out, and you just leave it plugged into your car overnight.
Now, this is the same as those other two tubes, right?
Right.
Hydrogen and oxygen, or
Right.
whichever one is.
And the oxygen we have no use for, so we just vent off into the air. And the hydrogen.
It's very nice of you. I'm sure the Earth would be proud.
Well, could use all the oxygen it can get. So
Right.
the
Yep.
hydrogen,
I agree.
Right.
using the water pressure, is compressed into the hydride tanks.
The water pressure, like a syringe,
listen,
it pushes
you don't
it right
gotta
into the
watch.
tank.
Exactly. Well, there's the standard gasoline fill, but also there's a hydrogen in it, which
It's compressed
you
into
just
a
click on,
tank.
leave it on overnight, and as the generator makes hydrogen, it compresses it in there at a nice slow
See, he
rate,
did it on a Corvette.
and the tanks become full over a period of about 8 hours or so. There are little points here and there that do have to be addressed. I mean, when it comes right down to it, you don't want fuel tanks inside the vehicle. This is a prototype, so ideally, eventually, you'd want the tanks outside, just like a fuel tank is.
The oil
The second
companies
thing is
killed
you're dealing
him.
with an unusual gas. Hydrogen not only is lighter than air, but also it burns with an invisible flame and is completely odorless, which is not a good thing. Now, propane is odorless too. They add a, that pretty strong scent to it. And you can't really do that with hydrogen, because if you add any kind of chemical to it, the hydride has a problem storing it. It can poison the hydride and lose its ability to hold hydrogen. So that's something that needs to be addressed. If you have a hydrogen leak and somehow the gas is getting in the car, you'd never know. And it could accumulate in the car. You go to light a cigarette, there could be an explosion in
Oh,
a case like
very
that.
bad.
So
But
you
we
need
can work
things
those-
like
this-
Right.
a hydrogen gas.
Keep in mind, this is like in the 1980s they did this, or 1990s. We can fix
Hector,
those problems
so it'll let
today.
you know if there is a hydrogen leak. But I mean, it's still an extremely safe system.
Why can't everybody do this? I mean, gas is going to
Fuck
$5
electric
a gallon.
cars!
Right.
It's terrible. The whole country's falling apart. We're, killing people all over the world for oil. And this, you're driving a car.
Well, we got our own oil
And you
here.
can
Why aren't we drilling our
And
own
you
oil?
can
Good
convert
job,
any
Trump.
other car.
We're drilling our own
unless-
oil.
I'm sure there are cars that have some technical problems, but yeah, essentially,
Well,
any car can be converted. The whole problem to it is the material in the hydride. The hydride itself, one of the main components of it, is classified as a weapon
Shake your head,
material,
yes, Trump.
and it can only be used in thermonuclear
He
weapons.
agrees.
And because even though it's not a dangerous
I don't know if he really
material,
agrees.
explosive
If I ever
by
talk-
itself, just because it's used.
If I ever get the chance to meet Trump, I'm going to bring up this hydrogen-powered car idea and tell him Elon Musk's electric cars suck. But other than that, I like what he's doing with Dodge. I love that.
within those nuclear weapons
Right.
that are obviously secret and the components thereof, but because it's used in those, it can't be used for any other civilian purposes. So you can't even purchase the material,
No.
which is why we had to make it.
You
Good
made
job.
Yeah, we made it.
And you're doing a
But
good job,
isn't
too.
that, don't you need big particle accelerators and
Yeah,
things?
so that was the one loophole. You can make the material, you can't buy it. So
Where's the you have a particle accelerator?
yeah, so all you have to do is build a particle accelerator, and you can make all the hydride you need.
Well, we have a particle
The biggest thing
accelerator in
standing in the way right
Arlington
now is
Heights, I
just
think.
getting that material inside the tank, that hydride material.
Right.
And the reason you can't is because
It's a weapon material.
Trump, you're not looking at the screen.
But
It's
there's
this
nothing
way.
dangerous about it.
No, it's
It
just
won't
used
blow
in a
up.
weapon. Right.
Well, beryllium's used in a weapon too. It's
Right.
like- basically, this whole thing boils down to how you store the hydrogen. So we found a metal. We have a material that we can store the hydrogen in.
You
We
make
have
the
a material
engine
that
out of all
safely store
aluminum,
hydrogen in,
including
and
the
a sufficient
pistons.
quantity
You
to
convert
replace
the
gas tank
engine.
on a car. So we can
There you go.
Provide
Every car
enough
out on the road
hydrogen
just became a hydrogen-powered car.
to drive a
like
car
that's
as
old,
you
old
normally
car right
would.
there. Or any of these cars, even the newer ones. Fuck that. Take a Tesla and make a Tesla that runs on only hydrogen. Better yet.
use green energy to make the hydrogen, either solar or wind power. There's a medium to store it in. That's it. Both problems are handled. All the other little bells and whistles can be taken care of in time, but the basic system works. It has for a long time.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah. If we had just a fraction of what the oil companies are.
That's why the oil, oh, that word
Yeah,
right there
yeah.
probably made the oil
budget of
companies
one
kill them.
day in Iraq, this entire system would be available to everybody.
Hear what he just said? Rewind it if you missed it. See, I'm not talking. Oh, here's another one about it.
So you read all over the internet about people and
Oh,
they
this
run
is
their
the
car on
original
water and
video.
hydrogen fuel cells and so on. You're
That was an altered
running
one. It
your
had cut
car
parts.
on,
Hydrogen. Can't run a car on water.
but you're using water.
Right. You use water as the source material. You run electricity through it,
Mhm.
and it breaks it down into hydrogen and oxygen, and then you can burn the hydrogen.
All right, so you found a way to store a lot more hydrogen in hydride. The equivalent of a full tank of gas.
Damn
You want to fill up your
potholes
car?
everywhere.
How much hydride do you need?
Well, I'll show you.
I want to know when the city's supposed to start using that loan for fixing our fucking roads. Oh wow,
No
it's
way.
foggy out.
Yeah, that's the volume it takes to store enough hydrogen to propel this car close to 400 miles. Just about what it gets running on a full tank of gas.
Sounds good to me.
And it's a lot safer than gasoline.
Really?
Yeah, these tanks can be shot at with incendiary bullets or cut in half.
Sorry, I gotta go in reverse.
And you can't say that about a gas tank. Now, if you store hydrogen, just compressed gas in a tank, it certainly explode,
Yeah.
catch on fire. Here,
So, do you like the hydrogen idea? And then we start a car company that's only ran on hydrogen. Fuck electric cars, it's a scam. Electric cars are not the way to go, and that's the way to have the government like I don't want to own an electric car. And think about it, just to charge
Back
it,
to
you gotta wait
temperature.
45 minutes?
Why is that important?
Well, when you apply heat to hydride, it releases hydrogen. So as power...
And that's why I'm saying that's the future. Anyone else want to get together? Hit thumbs up if you, and comment if you want to come with me and create a hydrogen car company. Hit the thumbs up.
hydrogen out of hydride at a certain rate with a certain temperature. And a single tank, you can't get it out at the volume you need. So you really just split it into 4 smaller units, heat them separately, and it works just fine.
Okay. Now behind me, Bob is getting ready to blow something up. Bob is blowing up water. Well, okay, he's not blowing up water because, as he said, to say you're powering your car on water is the same thing as saying if you're running your car on gasoline, you're powering your car on dinosaurs, and we know that's not the case. This is what?
This is a Hoffman apparatus.
And it's used to,
Produce hydrogen and oxygen from water.
We don't need to watch this.
for
part.
fun, just because.
We're fast forwarding some. Hold on.
If you just have it used for hydrogen and oxygen or for demonstration purposes, it works just perfect. All you got to do is fill it with water.
That's just regular water, right?
Well, actually, water with a little citric acid, potassium hydroxide, anything like that. The more conductive you make the water, the faster hydrogen will come out.
And each one of these sides is supposed to be hydrogen and oxygen?
Right, one will be, hydrogen will bubble up out of one, and oxygen will bubble up out of the other. Remember, water is H2O.
Right.
So when we break the bond of water apart, we'll get twice as much hydrogen gas as we do oxygen.
Oh, so what happens to the water? It just goes away.
Right, it gets
So,
converted into...
so each one of these tubes, the water just goes down, but what's left is the gas.
Right.
And there'll be more on this side?
Yes,
That's the hydrogen side.
exactly. And that's the negative.
Oh, so it matters which way you hook these up. So you got to hook up positive to what is the positive is going to make
Positive will make the oxygen, and the
Oh.
negative will make
Oh, no.
the hydrogen.
Okay.
So we've just connected it there,
Right.
and just by turning it on, you can see bubbles start pouring up out of
That's
this.
7 up.
Kinda.
So those bubbles are, well, they're not the
It's
same. They're
creating
hydrogen bubbles, those are
hydrogen.
bubbles.
Right.
We're
And
going
there's-
past
this
this
is
part
more-
to get to the
Right.
important
You can see
part.
it's
We
like-
already saw
Why
this
is it-
part.
Oh, H2. Oh, right.
It's twice as much.
Hey, that actually makes sense.
But if
So
you
it
want to
goes
listen to
out,
this,
Right.
seals the gas in. and
slow
releases
down
it.
the video.
Oh,
Go to
over here.
options. You know how I taught everyone to speed it up in the
And what we'll do
settings?
is take a little sample of the hydrogen gas.
Just
light
slow
it.
the video
Right.
down.
What are-
Go,
what are these
go below normal
It's a piece
speed.
of, well, it's a piece of platinum foil, and the reason you need
You wanna
platinum
hear
is
what he's
because
saying.
It's very corrosive to a metal for electrolysis to occur. I mean, it's really ripping the atoms of the metal apart, but platinum is highly resistant to corrosion. Now, this is a slow method.
Right.
And
But
you know,
there's
it gets into
faster,
thermal
better
electricity. The
methods
electricity
to
being
do
produced
it
from solar
with.
panels or a wind generator. It doesn't cost you anything, so who cares? But still, you don't want to wait, hours and hours and hours and hours to refill a vehicle. You want something that can produce hydrogen at a fairly quick rate. So let's go ahead and extract some of this.
Or wait 45 minutes for your fucking Tesla to charge. That's more harmful to the environment than a regular gas car.
Wow.
So there's power
Over the
hydrogen.
course
Just
of
from
its
water,
life.
something exploded.
So this is the same thing that was inside the lab.
Yeah, that was a small tabletop model. This is a large industrial version, essentially, which connects right to the water main.
Right.
And produces a much higher volume.
The water main, your garden hose.
Right, yeah, garden hose. You can plumb it in like you connect your dishwasher, or just connect to a garden hose. And it's powered by either solar array, solar panels.
It's like a generator
or
made
a wind turbine.
to
Makes
produce
the wind turbine to
hydrogen.
electricity, or any other way. But the idea is just to use complete
And then
clean
did you
energy.
hear how
Ideally,
it's
I like to
powered?
run this one on solar.
When the
Mixed with
sun's
sunlight.
not shining,
That's really all there is to it.
you
connect
got
to
the
a water line,
solar panels.
plug into your solar panel, and
I mean, you got
water line,
the
start
you got the
producing
wind
hydrogen,
turbine, and when
it
the
has
sun's
sufficient water in
shining
there,
and the wind's
let the
not
hydrogen out,
blowing,
just leave it plugged into your
you
car
got
overhead.
the solar
This is the same as
panels.
those other two tubes, right?
And when the
Hydrogen
sun
oxygen.
is blowing and the
The
wind's
oxygen
blowing, you got both.
And the
It's very
hydrogen
nice of you, I'm sure.
And when you
Well,
got nothing,
could use all
you
the
got
oxygen
some
you can
saved
get.
up
Really,
energy to the
hydrogen,
side.
using the water pressure is compressed into the hydride tanks.
So yeah, you still
water
need
pressure, right?
batteries,
Right into the
but
tank.
you don't got to put every car out on the road
Well,
with
there's
a
the
fucking
standard
battery in
gasoline
it.
fill, but also there's a hydrogen in it, which
He did this on a Corvette.
you just click on, leave it on overnight, and as the generator makes hydrogen, it compresses it in there at a nice slow rate, and the tanks become full over a period of about 8 hours or so.
There are little points here.
Oh, here's a newer video of it. Never seen this one. But hey, hit thumbs up and comment if you like the hydrogen-powered car company idea. This one's in color.
Conspiracy theories. The name
Oh, this is just some guy talking about it. Right. Ah, here's the video.
50,000 miles.
Oh, okay. He's explaining basically what I'm explaining. But I don't like these ones that are like this. This is a hydrogen fuel cell. It's like a battery.
Oh, this is cool. This is
That's kind of cool, actually.
What's cool actually? Ready to see something cool? All right, we're going to turn this baby
It
on.
has like a little like Batman shed out the back.
Only water and water vapor. Isn't that mad? This is the future, guys. All right.
Kind of, not her
Ready?
version. My version, that's like a regular V8 engine. That's the future, not theirs. My idea is not their idea. I want my V6 4-cylinder V8 gas sound. I mean, that sounds pretty cool too. Don't get me wrong. But this is a different method they're doing. See? See, this is a different method. That does look kind of badass. Look out the back. It's got like a little jet. I mean, I still would do that. I would rather have a V8. I mean, that's kind of badass,
Cool,
the
huh?
little jets.
So cool. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my god, it really is just water. So cool seeing it drive the first time. Like, have you ever seen a nose that pointy?
It looks cool.
What he's driving around right now is their mobile fueling center. So this is where the public would come and refuel their hydrogen car. So they're working on cars, but the technology is a main part of this Hyperion company. So you can literally order one of these and place it wherever you want to. And
Looks
then
like somebody
lift it
beat me
up,
to the
move it
idea,
somewhere
but their
else. It's
idea
like a
is different.
Caravan refueler. When it's going slowly, it doesn't make any noise. But then when you go fast, it like screams at you like you're watching a horror film. Holy moly. Here it
I
goes.
will admit that does look pretty cool.
Wow.
Let's see how it sounds.
They're actually solar panels. How cool is that?
Oh, that's
Those
interesting.
solar panels soaking up some sun. Can't wait.
But is it? My question is it's quite as an electric car, which I don't like the idea of.
Look at this, guys.
That sounds badass.
How epic is this?
That's actually cool.
So this is all water vapor.
I haven't seen this version.
Because this car right here runs purely on hydrogen. Now this is called the Hyperion XP1.
That's actually kind of cool. But I still like my idea better, just converting a regular V8, make the engine all aluminum, the pistons aluminum, the exhaust a non-rustable material.
And so this is beyond the highest point. Whatever you're thinking right now, like, ooh, beyond, what is this? This is beyond what you're thinking, right? This car actually uses technology developed by NASA. Yes, you heard that, developed by NASA on this car. But first, look at this. What in the world? Look at this. It's an air.
I will get back to this. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, yo.